Hi guys, it's David from OutdoorWorldDirect. Today I'm over in Denmark. I'm taking a look at some of the new Easy Camp tents, and today I'm going to show you the Easy Camp Glomma 6. So the Glomma is kind of aimed at maybe your first time campers, your family that may be going camping for the first time. They don't want to invest huge sums of money into a family tent, so they just want something that offers good value for money, a good quality and lots of usable living space. So the Glomma is made out of a 68 Denier polyester fabric, so it's nice and lightweight, which gives it an overall weight of 22.7 kilograms. So with these tents, you've got a really simple fiberglass pole and sleeve design. So the fiberglass poles, are color coded, and the sleeves are color coded to match. So on this tent, they're pretty much all the same apart from the rear pole, which is slightly smaller, and that's a color coded green. So you can't put the wrong pole in the wrong place. You're looking at a pitching time of roughly, I'd say if you've never pitched this before, you're probably going to take half an hour to 45 minutes to pitch it the first time. If you kind of know what you're doing pitching tents and you're quite competent, you're probably looking at about 25 to 30 minutes, no more. So taking a look at the front of the tent now, the first thing to notice is this door obviously fully folds up. So if you've got a really nice, beautiful day like we have here today, you can roll this up and have this as an open space, which is quite nice and ideal. It gets some warmth into the tent as well. The other thing you've got in here, you've got windows on either side of the porch space. Both of them have toggled privacy curtains, so if you want to close the windows up of an evening to give you some privacy, you can do so. There's also a door to my left hand side that's backed by a secondary mesh panel. I'll go on to why mesh panels are quite important a little bit later in the video, but essentially they just mitigate a bit of condensation. So taking a look towards the inside of the tent now, so you can see there's no ground sheet in the porch area. We kind of treat this as like an auxiliary area to store things like your shoes, that kind of stuff that you don't want in the sewn-in living space. Here you've got a window and a window. Both of these are mesh panels, so they're not PVC, they're mesh panels. They don't have any privacy curtains on them, and that's because the two windows either side of me, they do, and the PVC windows here do as well, and the door doesn't have a window. So if you closed everything up and you closed the four windows there, it would make the tent completely private. That's why they haven't put privacy curtains here. Now this mesh as well, it's just nice for getting a bit of airflow into this living space. Because you've got a sewn-in sealed ground sheet, you can find you can get a bit of condensation in these areas, and the reason for that is that polyester is extremely waterproof. And because you've sewn in the ground sheet, any kind of moisture in the air, it finds it very difficult to get out of the tent. So that's why we put mesh windows and we put a mesh side door in as well. So it's a beautiful day here in Denmark. It's been really cold overnight though, we're on October the 3rd. So it was, there's a bit of frost on the ground this morning, but yesterday it was about 10, 12 degrees. And again, today is a similar temperature once the sun comes up. Now the sun hasn't quite hit this tent yet, so you'll see there's a bit of moisture on the windows. There's a bit of moisture on the panels up here. The tent isn't leaking. Essentially what you're seeing is a bit of condensation, which you will get in cold weather environments. So with this sewn-in ground sheet, one area where a lot of tent manufacturers kind of skim out some of the qualities is they'll make a drop-down ground sheet like we've got here, but they'll just toggle it to the flysheet door, which means bugs and insects can still get into the tent very easily. With this Easy Camp tent, we've not done that. We've put a zip on the ground sheet, so when I close this door of an evening, it can be zipped up. So what I'm trying to say is it fully seals this ground sheet essentially. So it's going to be very difficult for bugs and the drafts to get in. So it's going to be a nicer environment to be in. You've also got a mains cable entry point to that side. You've got plenty of space in here. You've got full standing height. You'd be able to put a few chairs and a table in here quite comfortably. So moving on to the sleeping compartment. It's a Sleep Tight Plus inner. If you're wondering what that means, it's basically just an inner tent that's got a darkened fabric. So essentially it's not a blackout inner. So a lot of people want a blackout inner tent these days. There's only Coleman that do that. The only problem with that is they're not very breathable blackout inners. You'll notice with this, again, we're a fan of mesh, so we put more mesh in. it will let some light in, but it will also allow the tents to breathe quite well, and you'll get a less build of condensation as a result. With this, it sleeps up to 6 people, but I think it's probably more comfortable for 4. You've got 2 internal toggled dividers, so if you want to make 1 6 berth, you can remove them, the dividers, or you can have 2 dividers and make it 3 lots of 2, or you can have a 4 and a 2. It's basically a very versatile configuration. So you can set it up as you wish, really. And also, if you do set it up as separate bedrooms, you've got doors into each one as well, so you don't have to wake somebody else up that maybe in a different bedroom by going through a door in one space. You can get out wherever you want. You've also got the organizer pockets on the outside just for anything lightweight that you might want to store in there. So just to do a quick recap on the Camp Glomma 6, it's a 6-man tent. It's probably ideal for 4 to 5 people, just to have some comfortable living and sleeping space. You've got a 3-zone design, so you've got a nice large porch space, you've got a really healthy living space within the sewn-in ground sheet here, and then you've got a 6-person inner tent to the rear. It's a simple pole and sleeve design. It's going to take you about half an hour to pitch. It's got a 68 Denier polyester fly sheet, which is a nice quality of fly sheet, and it's waterproof to 3000 millimeters, and that's the hydrostatic head, which is more than ample for the UK climate. I think this is a perfect buy for that family that maybe wants to experience family camping for the first time, or essentially wants a tent that's gives a really good value for money without compromising on some of the quality features like the sewn-in ground sheet, the mesh on the side doors. You get a lot of tent for your money with this product. There's a couple of extras that are available. You can get an optional ground sheet, which the ground sheet, you put that down first and you pitch the tent on top of it, and you can also get an optional carpet as well, which would sit in the living space just to increase the warmth on a cold day like today. Thanks for watching the video today. If you've got any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments box.